Big transfer developments from Barcelona. The Catalan Giants are closing in on the signing of Nico Williams despite last-minute tension caused by a special clause demanded by his agent. And that's not all. An Arsenal superstar is reportedly ready to make the move to Camp Nou, with talks heating up behind the scenes. Stick around as we break down all the latest, the negotiations, the complications, and what it means for Barcelona's future. Let's dive in. Despite recent reports, Barcelona remain confident about finalizing the signing of Nico Williams in the coming days and are preparing to pay his release clause, which stands at approximately €62 million, €58 million plus inflation adjustment, claims Sport. The La Liga champions view this week as crucial and aim to complete the payment before July 9th, the date Athletic Club returns to training. The intention is to avoid a scenario where the player must report back to the Basque club. Tension between Barcelona and Nico's agent. As per the report, Barcelona acknowledged that there has been some tension in recent days between the club's sporting department and Nico Williams' agent, Felix Tinta. Tinta has been seeking guarantees that Nico will be registered with La Liga, something Barcelona has repeatedly assured. The report further states that Tinta might have requested a special clause to be included in the player's contract, similar to one once held by Dani Olmo last summer, which would allow the player to leave for free if not registered. This comes amidst all the noise from Athletic Club, who have been talking with La Liga about Barcelona's financial situation and their ability to register players. However, Barcelona are unwilling to agree to such a clause, particularly after committing to pay the full €62 million release clause. The Catalans have indicated that any necessary guarantees will be addressed through other means. Barcelona consider the release clause matter to be settled, as Nico is fully committed to joining the club and proceeding with the deal. They maintain that all registration guarantees are in place and are now urging both the player and his agent to provide final approval so the release clause payment can be deposited with La Liga. For this to happen, the Blaugrana require a notarized power of attorney from the player, as was the case with Joan Garcia. An agreement on contract length and salary was reached several weeks ago, shortly after Tinta met with Deco at a Barcelona hotel to communicate the player's interest in joining the team. If all proceeds without issue, Nico will sign for 6 seasons until 2031. His annual salary will be between €7 and €8 million, less than what Athletic is offering for a renewal, and also lower than the proposal made by Bayern Munich. Arsenal star ready to complete Barcelona move, report. An Arsenal star is preparing to make the move to Spanish giants Barcelona. Hansi Flick is looking to build on his squad from last season, where he won the La Liga title at the first time of asking, with several areas a priority this summer. There has been a fairly public chase for a new wide attacker, notably Luis Diaz and Nico Williams, with the latter seemingly edging closer to joining, but sights are now set on an first-team star from Arsenal. That seems to be coming in the shape of Thomas Partey. The 32-year-old midfielder is set to leave Arsenal at the end of his contract, as reported by David Orstian, with a move to Spain on the cards. Spanish outlet Fichages have reported that Barcelona are looking for smart ways to improve their squad, and the signing of Partey on a free transfer would represent that. The deal would run for 2 years with the option to extend it a further year, and would see him return to Spain, where he spent 7 years with Atletico Madrid, including 2 loan spells. Barcelona's financial struggles are well documented, and according to the report their new strategy seeks to strengthen its position without making large outlays. It would allow for more room for maneuver in other positions should they be able to wrap up a deal for Partey. In 442's opinion, the move would make sense for all parties, pardon the pun, involved. Arsenal are looking for a more dynamic midfield, and freeing up wages may allow them to attract other targets in the coming weeks and months. For Partey, moving at this stage of his career makes sense, as it may be the last time he is able to make a jump to what is perceived as another top club. And for Barcelona, staying in line financially will be their biggest opponent this summer window, so any way they can do that will be beneficial. So Barcelona fans, it's getting real. Nico Williams' transfer looks closer than ever, even with a twist in the deal, and now an Arsenal ace could join the revolution under Hansi Flick. Will Deco pull it off? Will La Liga approve the clause? And who's the Arsenal star ready to wear the Barca shirt? Hit that like button if you're excited, subscribe for daily transfer news and let us know in the comments. Which signing do you want to see next at Barcelona? This transfer window is just getting started. Stay tuned. Big Barcelona transfer update. In today's video, we dive deep into the latest transfer developments surrounding Barcelona. One of Barca's fringe defenders has made a final call on his future amid heavy Premier League interest, and it's not what most expected. Plus, a young Barcelona talent has officially confirmed his departure with a heart-wrenching farewell message to the fans. Stay tuned as we break down the full story, what it means for Hansi Flick's plans, and how Barcelona's summer squad is shaping up. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for all the latest Barcelona news and updates. A member of the defensive ranks is ready to reject interest in his signature by way of the Premier League, to stay put with the club through next season and beyond. That's according to Diario Sport, who point towards Gerard Martín as the player in question. The name of defender Martín of course took its place front and center in the media chatter surrounding Barcelona earlier this month. This came after word was forthcoming that the 23-year-old had been identified as a leading summer target on the part of not one, but two Premier League clubs. Both Bournemouth and Wolverhampton Wanderers were understood to have earmarked Martín as a potential signing with a view to next season. Links had since gone somewhat quiet, though, and for what it would appear is good reason. As per a report from Sport, the homegrown player is very reluctant to go to the Premier League, with Martín therefore in line to stay put with Hansi Flick's squad. A fringe Barcelona defender has decided to stay at the club despite exit rumors and Premier League interest. He's ready to fight for his place under Hansi Flick next season. Andreas Christensen is one of the few Barcelona players staring at an uncertain summer ahead. With Deco confirming that Barcelona must sell at least one centre-back this summer, Christensen has emerged as a strong candidate for a sale. The Dane international has struggled with injuries lately and has fallen behind other defenders in the pecking order. Christensen makes final decision on his future. However, despite his dwindling role in the first team, Christensen has decided to continue his career at Barcelona. This is according to Diario Sport, which suggests that the defender has made a firm decision to reject any offers that come his way during the summer transfer window. The 29-year-old feels settled and comfortable in Barcelona, both professionally and personally. He is determined to stay and compete for a starting spot under new head coach Hansi Flick, who might welcome his versatility and tactical flexibility. Christensen's decision is also driven by a personal desire to rediscover his best form. After a disappointing 2024-25 season marred by recurring injuries, the Dane is eager to bounce back and prove his worth in a squad where competition is fierce. From a sporting perspective, the former Chelsea star will likely serve as a backup for Íñigo Martínez, Pau Cubarsí and Ronald Araujo. But from a financial perspective, it remains to be seen whether or not Christensen's decision to remain at the club sits well with Barcelona. The Catalans, after all, are desperately in need of fresh sales in order to bring in new players. The club, therefore, might not be able to afford the Dane's prolonged stay at the club. A Barcelona youngster has officially confirmed his departure from the club with an emotional farewell message. He thanked the fans and the club for their support as he begins a new chapter in his career. A longtime member of the academy ranks at La Liga champions Barcelona has this weekend announced his departure from the club. The player in question? Pau Prim. Prim, for those not familiar with his name, is a 19-year-old midfielder, who had long been considered one of the standout prospects on the books in Catalonia's capital. Unfortunately for club and player alike, however, things took a turn for the worse between the parties earlier this season. Upon Prim making clear that he did not intend to renew his contract terms with Barcelona, the youngster was banished to the stands by those in a position of power at the Camp Nou. And as alluded to above, this weekend, his free agent exit has finally been confirmed. That wraps up today's big transfer stories from Camp Nou. A loyal defender decides to stay and fight for his place despite Premier League interest, showing true Blaugrana spirit, while a rising star says an emotional goodbye, paving the way for a new chapter in his career. Barcelona's summer is just heating up, and with big names possibly coming in and more exits expected, you won't want to miss a thing. Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with the defender's decision to stay? Or will Barca regret letting the youngster go? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive updates from the world of Barcelona Football Club.